Episode 198. Over at Blue Brook Pavilion, Springtime Elder and Blue River had gone offline to discuss their candidate. Over at Tyrannical Ambition, Jiang Yu frowned deeply as Nigel Ferryman described the current situation.
How did things get this bad? The situation benefits no one. What is Lord Grimm thinking?
Jiang Yu's voice was thick with confusion.
I'm afraid Lord Grimm's just had a run of bad luck too. Running into Moonlit Frost this time. What a brain-dead guild. They're probably sulking right now.
Knight's Passage said coldly.
We can't worry about him now. We have to rely on our own strength to take back this dungeon record.
Jiang Yu's final decision mirrored that of Langxi Pavilion. Both guilds were in the same boat, and the two branch leaders from the 10th server had come with identical intentions.
But now Laonexa Pavilion is in the same boat as us. Got called out for it.
Well, using a substitute player is just like hiring a ringer. It's a pretty shady business. Ending up like this, we definitely need think through enough. Lanxi Pavilion is probably gathering a team to tackle the Glazed Lands. We shouldn't waste our energy butting heads with them over that dungeon. All that head butting, one of us is bound to miss out on the record. Let them have the Glazed Lands. We'll head to the one, Long Gorge, and set a record there. That's rock solid. They should be getting close to level Zifei Baniao.
Right.
Nighttide Cold Pool nodded. Line Canyon is for levels 30 to 33, so the highest records always appear at the 33 mark.
But before that, there's one more thing we need to do.
What is it?
I'm looking for Lord Grimm. We're looking for him again.
Right. But this time, we're not asking him to set the record.
Instead, we're asking him to stay away from this dungeon record. We'll offer him the same terms as if he were setting it.
After saying this, the two of them suddenly fell into a shared silence. A long moment later, Ye Duhang finally spoke, his voice trembling. No way! You thought of it too. Jiang Yu's tone sounded much steadier now. Did this guy plan for this to happen all along?
From now on, he won't even have to lift a finger. For us guilds to take a dungeon record, it won't be about buying his services anymore, but to buy his inaction.
Ye Duhang Chan said, sounding incredulous. Then, the two fell into another stretch of silence, their characters frozen like they'd crashed. Standing in the desolate wasteland of the Divine Realm, the wind-whipped yellow sand seemed ready to bury them both. Lord Grimm, a player with no guild, no discernible origin, and no backing from any major power. With sheer skill alone, he dominated the dungeon records of the 10th server, and through that, managed to hold all the guilds in check. In a new server, dungeon records are a crucial element for development. The new server is almost all new players. No matter how famous a major guild is, when they come to a new server, they're newbies too. In a new server, how do you establish status in the minds of these newcomers? Dungeon records are the key, the most direct and powerful showcase of a guild's strength. But right now, every guild in Server 10 has become a laughingstock. Now, in everyone's mind, the image is clear: whoever Lord Grimm helps gets the dungeon record. Don't just blame the newbies for that impression. In this war for dungeon records, in the campaign to win Lord Grimm over, it was the big guilds themselves who first realized his importance. It's also because they're too experienced, too seasoned. Experts can tell at a glance if something's the real deal. The rookies have no concept of these records, but the moment they saw the results Lord Grimm pulled off, they knew it was just too much. They couldn't match that score themselves, so they couldn't ask Lord Grimm for help. There was no other way. Ultimately, the major guilds were simply unprepared for a situation like this. No one could have predicted that a single expert could wield such overwhelming power. If things keep going like this in the 10th server, it'll truly usher in a new era. The major guilds can't bring their full strength to bear. Their elite players are supposed to be their biggest advantage in a new server. But with someone like Lord Grim around, all their so-called experts suddenly seem worthless. So what advantage do the big guilds even have in the new server now? They can't just spam the world chat every day, telling newbies they're one of Glory's top 3, 5, or 8 guilds.
This might just be a lucky coincidence.
Knight crossing the cold pond said, if that's not the case,
This person is not only skilled, but also terrifyingly cunning.
I'll head back first and try to talk to him. Alright, you go.
over in Glory's 10th server, Blue River still hadn't caught on to the issue. Lan River was still with Spring Intention old. He was organizing offline, trying to spot which top players were being hired as ringers to salvage their reputation. When Night Chills returned to the 10th server, he saw that his friend Blue River hadn't logged in yet and Lord Grim's name was still lit up on his friends list. The World Channel, however, had quieted down considerably. It was nearly 5 o'clock, a time of day when player numbers were relatively low. The wave of discussion about the dungeon record had passed, and the World Channel had returned to its usual state. But Ye Du Han Tan understood clearly, the end of the discussion doesn't mean this matter is over. The image of our two great guilds has been utterly shattered this time. If we don't hurry up and snag a record, we'll just spark another round of debate.
The real fear is that we'll truly be left behind in the 10th server.
Brother, you there? Ye Du Han Tan sent a message to Lord Grim. It was pretty common for characters to be logged in, but their players absent in the wee hours. He's here. Ye Xiu had been calmly grinding away at the mobs in the wild.
I wanted to discuss something about One Line Canyon with you.
Line Canyon. I'm not high enough level yet.
Brother, you really don't get why I'm here.
Ye Du Han Tan probed Lord Grim carefully. This was not a man to be trifled with right now. Ye Du Han Tan felt a bit aggrieved. Do tell.
Now that we've seen the canyon record, we hope you'll stay out of this one. Brother,
Then the price will be higher.
The reply came swiftly, without surprise or confusion. It was plain and direct, skipping straight to the stage of haggling over the price. Who would believe he hadn't considered the situation? Clearly, he understood it better than the one who'd sent the message. He must have been prepared all along. Night Chill was frustrated, but he had no choice but to press on. How high is it?
8 crimson blood tail stingers, 8 scarlet poison needles, a crimson shadow berserker blade, an amber crystal, and 40 sandworm silks.
The reply came back just as swiftly, the price clearly premeditated. Night crossing Cold Pond felt even more frustrated. He scanned the list of required materials one by one. The more he looked, the more he felt like crying. The scorpion's tail sting and the crimson poison needle. These are all drops from the hidden boss Othasting, the Scarlet Scorpion Assassin in the One Line Gorge dungeon. The Crimson Shadow Blade is the orange tier weapon of the hidden boss, Shadowblade Ahang. The 40 Sandworm Silks drop from another hidden boss, Sandworm. As for the Amber Crystal, that's loot from the field boss of One Line Gorge, Salt Run Ao Pan. Forget their value for a moment. Just gathering this quantity alone is an immense challenge. Because these 5 items cover every single rare boss in the entire Line Canyon stage. Just by the numbers, even if every boss you encountered dropped exactly what you needed, that would require encountering the Crimson Scorpion Assassin Oath Piercer 16 times and the Sandworm 40 times. Yet, in the 6 dungeon runs Yi Xiu had done over the past 2 days, he hadn't seen a single hidden boss. Just gathering these materials alone would require encountering hidden bosses a whopping 56 times. If you tried to farm them solo, you'd be grinding until First Canyon gave no more experience and still wouldn't have them all. As for the Crimson Shadow's Mad Blade, just getting a chance to fight the hidden boss is a test of luck. Then, getting the orange weapon to drop is another test of luck. It's a major trial of fortune. And Amber Crystal is even more troublesome. That's not a boss you farm, it's a boss you PK for. The field bosses in Glazed Lands and One Line Gorge had both already been taken down for their first kills. Both times, it happened when Ye Shu was offline, so no one had invited him to participate in either of those first kills. One was snatched up by Herb Garden, while the other did go to their tyrannical ambition.
But when I think about the price we paid for it, my heart aches.